Hello and welcome back to first round back nine coverage of the 2020 Idlewild Open. We've got the men's Pro Open feature card. We are in Burlington, Kentucky. We've got Big Barry commentary. Jeremy Koling joined by Paul Ulibarri. Thoughts on the front nine?
I thought it went pretty smooth. I think that a couple of these guys have a little revenge to have on this back nine. Maybe pad their scores from the front, but two really hot scores with Zach Melton at a -6, and obviously Paul McBeth right there with him at -6. And they're trailing that one guy right now, Ricky Wysocki. So
Ricky Wysocki, such a dangerous player on this course, one of the best scramblers. Even if he's clean off the tee box, eventually you're going to find yourself in a bad spot. His ability to get out of bad spots is what makes him so dangerous on a course like this. And let's get straight into the action now. Hole 10, par 3, 368 feet. This is one of the toughest, but incredibly fun and beautiful par 3s you're really ever going to come across at this distance, going uphill on this last third of the hole. So hard to get through the gap and get the distance at the same time.
yeah, you're going to see a lot of people just throw their straightest, fastest disc. Now, you are going to have a few people like this kind of get lucky, get through some of the guardian trees, but if you really want to pure it up there's a line all the way to the basket, and it's a very rewarding
It is
shot.
straight as an arrow, and if you do want to hit that gap, you've got to throw something a little bit of hyzer and stand it up. Looked like Zach took a little bit off that tee shot there, maybe just trying to hit the gap and play for his par. And Paul hangs this one too wide, and it's drifting right. And a favorable kick back into circle 2. Not a bad result.
Nikko really looking like he's wanting this one. This looks good.
Wow.
Needs to miss that last one. Yeah, kind of catches
That was so close.
those guardian trees on the right. It doesn't really set up for a flex shot. So
No,
it's actually a hyzer flip to flat to straight. And a lot of people I've seen try to do that flex shot. And in order to do a flex shot, you need not a lot of room, but you need a good bit of room.
you don't have the room on this hole.
That shot right there to the right, perfect. Flip up to flat, flex shot, not so much, but both find the same kind of tree.
Yeah.
And both in the rough.
And James is throwing another forehand, this time maybe a forehand roller, and this needs a hit tree, and it does. What a great reaction on the green.
What a scramble.
Zach with a good little approach.
Yes.
That'll be a tap and par.
Stress-free.
I just can't even, it's so crazy to think that, Nikko almost throws in a second one. To think that Nikko's play off this one is a flex, you're bringing your angle from 10 degrees down to about 3 degrees of space in the fairway to work with.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't trying to play a flex, but maybe it just flexed. I don't know.
think it looked like that was his shot.
Yeah,
He's
I
lining
agree.
that up. It's just, he almost hit the shot. That's what was the most impressive part about it.
And that would have been one of the better scrambles of this round.
Yeah. To be fair, I thought James was another 15 feet closer. I thought he hit the tree closer to the basket. That was still definitely a tricky par save. So James will drop another stroke on the very difficult hole 10. Pretty amazing to think that 14 of the 132 players were able to pick up that birdie. It is just so specific. You really can't get lucky on hole 10. Hole 11, par 3, 242 feet. A little bit longer tee pad than the last time I was here in 2017. Now it's just a little bit, that gap shrinks just a little bit. You go back 40 feet and all of a sudden you have to execute a really nice, whatever your straightest disc is, that's what these guys are going to be throwing.
I love the change. I love bumping it back a bit, making you have to earn it even a little bit more.
And Zach throwing that one in the ground, but getting the skip forward.
I'm wondering if he's playing that kind of to the right. I do notice that a lot of people have been playing it to the right to have that putt kind of up the hill. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually his play. Low kind of skip shot because he did throw driver.
Paul going with the Luna, hanging this left side, just drifting over at the last second. If he hits that wall with too much speed, that can come back down the hill, but I think he should be happy with the result. Hole 11 playing as the easiest hole in the course. Nikko with a nice approach there. That'll be just left.
Seems like we've been seeing a lot of Nikko lately on the coverage, and it's just one of those holes where we've said it before, kind of just sets up for him. That straight touch shot right there at 250 feet. His bread and butter.
Yeah, he's dialed in at that range currently.
Seems like this is a repeat offense for James. Kick left, sidearm out.
Oh, no, no, no.
Kick right.
Oh.
Jump putt up. Oh, yeah, jump putt up.
Man, just not James' day so far. This is going to get, with that putt, that'll take James to 2 under, or 2 over, excuse me. And look at that, Melton shooting hoops. Zach Melton, a former basketball player. Nice jump shot. I'll take Paul in the 3-point contest, though. You, not this guy.
Let's see what he does from there.
Zach's going to hate me for saying that.
Yeah. Yep, I'll still take me.
Just kidding. That's a good birdie putt for Paul. That came back quite a ways after hitting that wall. Conrad in for the bogey.
That's saying you'd rather be off by a lot than a little.
Yeah.
This is literally the course where that comes into play more than maybe any course.
I feel like there's times when you want to be 10 degrees off, not like 5 degrees, like a little miss. You're totally right. Those gaps really open up seemingly when you really miss your shot. But James is just a fraction off right now.
No anxiety. No, it ain't like practice. I'll be the day.
Nikko verbally saying what we all think, which is
just,
always nice.
Just do what you do in practice. Come on, guy. Like,
Yeah.
hole 12, par 4, 644 feet. Really a beautiful par 4 on this course. It plays a nice little turnover mid-range backhand or a little forehand check shot to the middle. Then it's a backhand fairway driver or maybe a long mid around the corner, and it plays pretty far left.
I like to play this one sidearm deep, sidearm roller from there to the middle. Weird little touch shot into the green that rolls to a tricky putt for par.
Good game plan. Good game plan.
That's not my game plan. That's just how I play it every year.
And Melton goes putter down the middle, drifting a bit to the right side of the fairway, but I think he's going to like the result of that one.
But I guarantee somebody on this card, I don't like to guarantee, but I'm going to guarantee.
Make a guess. Why don't you make
I'm gonna
educated guess?
Educated guess. Somebody's going to play it exactly like me.
Wouldn't be too surprised. It's very common plays that outdrive this hole. McBeth just going with a super casual release there, getting look at that. Is nothing casual about that distance. That's a huge tee shot.
I think he went early. I think he wants to go deeper, and I think he caught that early gap, got the good skip to the middle of the fairway.
And that early gap is great for the backhand turnover.
This is it. This is early as well.
Yeah. And again.
Where's my paw love? Let's get just a little bit of it.
Yeah, and there's my proof. That was early.
Yeah. And wow, that thing is pretty beat. Maybe
All
not
right.
the most favorable kick left, but still in the fairway.
I don't think anybody's going sidearm roller.
No, I
I'm
think that your
bummed.
prediction's going to have to wait for round 2.
Somebody's going to do it.
We're going to see that play
Yeah.
throughout the weekend, no doubt. Once again, just barely off. Zach overturning that forehand.
Nikko in a really tough spot. He's going to have to push it to the opposite side of the fairway with a stable disc that drifts down the hill and then gains stability.
Yeah.
That's a stiletto. What the hell?
Like I said, I think he was pretty bummed. I think he thought he threw that one perfect, and then it just drifted with that gravity all the way down to the right side. Didn't quite get into circle 2, but
That is a really nice forehand approach as Melton has used the ground to slow his approach. Under the back. Look, and we're finally getting to McBeth's drive.
I was hoping he was going to throw sidearm roller, but I've learned now that I might be just really bad.
Oh, and that reaction there is going to take Paul's open look to an obstructed 28-footer.
I don't really like that play, but it's going to work.
Let me see the result. I love it.
Work great.
I love
Yeah,
that
throw it
play.
18 feet in front of you, do a flare skip, then another skip, and then a roll and parked. Yeah.
Well, we're all rooting for James right now to claw some back, and he'll be able to save his par on 12. Nikko giving that a nice little run there for the slopey green.
Paul does have this little tricky putt. All kinds of avenues and little gaps he can hit with this.
If you like to play horse, this is a great green to go practice at. McBeth is off the band again.
And this is what's dangerous about this. If
Yeah.
you do miss, this thing can roll. It is a steeper hill than it looks on this camera angle.
Mhm.
He's going to be out.
Oh, and a long roll. He's actually having to go to a knee. This is going to be, what, outside the circle? Oh, well outside the circle. And Paul is going to drop a stroke from the best drive, the best approach, and one roll away later, he is going to be taking a bogey here on hole 12. Nikko connects on the par putt.
James super skip shot to the left there. Just a little tap in left. Superman skipper. No.
Oh. I feel for it.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Yeah. I mean, yep, nothing else you can say. It's just, it's not feeling right now for James, and we've all been there. Third consecutive bogey. Moving to the Y hole. Hole 13, par 4. 472 feet. One of the trickier holes on the course. I have to navigate that tricky tee shot there and get somewhere in the grass field over to the left. And then from there, you just have a scattering of trees. You just kind of have to pick your gap as you move up to this green. Behind the green is safe, but there are two white lines on either side that extend back and long that outside of that is out of bounds.
So basically, you have to throw it through the Y.
Which
And if you do
Zach has
that,
done
then
well.
you'll be left with some sort of tricky upshot. But if you don't, and you hit the Y or hit one of those trees, you're most likely going to be out of bounds.
You're most likely taking a 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's tough. So the main goal is to hit this gap, and if you don't, you're going to have your work cut out for you. But even if you do, like where Nikko lands here, he's going to have an avenue up into there, but it's not going to be, that's actually far enough.
That's great.
Especially with his touch.
Yeah, that's an A+ tee shot.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's a smaller gap than you guys think as well.
Yeah.
It is little.
I have no idea what they think, but I know that it is a small gap.
I think they think it's, that looks small.
It's a pretty small gap. Paul
Makes
going
it look
high.
big, yeah.
Now, this is the way to kind of give yourself a chance at the two. Getting a glancing kick off to the right. Be a short approach across the creek for Paul.
If that misses that tree, that gets that nice skip down there, and he's within 80 feet for eagle. As long as he misses all those other little guys. James, you know, you're not supposed to have favorites when you're commentating, but James is my favorite. So I really want to see him get up there.
Yeah.
And he does, so he'll have something from there. It's just,
Like, just your favorite in general, or favorite right now on this card, or all time?
oh, he's definitely one of the favorites to watch play, period. And to watch him struggle is a rare thing. I don't like it.
Hit the bridge. Oh. He'll have the 26 or 27 footer from the short side of the creek.
He better watch it, otherwise he might drop out of the favorites here soon.
Oh, you watch it, buddy.
Just kidding. Please do better.
He'll always be a favorite. We don't judge people by the way they play.
There it is. Good touch. If Nikko never... Like, there's no possible way he doesn't get up and down from there, I feel like. With his angle control and his touch, like, that's just...
And Zach maybe trying to give this a little bit of a run. He needs a little bit of help from the bridge.
Paul's trying to make this.
Oh, yeah. And almost does.
Yeah.
James, to stop the bleeding.
Get in there.
Next, he is in for the par. Yeah. This used to be labeled a par 3. There's a good change, in my opinion, to make it it's a true par 4. In fact, it's not just a par 4. It's a tough par 4, but it's an eagleable one. The scoring average is 4.04. There actually were 5 2s on this hole. Corey Ellis, Trey Gleim, Jeff Vandermark, Kyle Klein, and Henry Manahan.
Those are some nifty little eagles.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're getting down there for putts or if they're kind of maybe in McBeth territory making those long ones. But that absolutely feels like an eagle to get the 2. So congrats to those guys as we move on to hole 14. Par 4, 556 feet. Such a tight gap off the tee. Players are going to want to hit this tee shot with a forehand or a backhand turnover, and then this moving right as you move down this fairway. Anything around this range, and it's just a short pitch across this creek up to the island green.
Yeah, pretty specific shot shape to get this one down there. Very tight window off the tee, and then it has to gradually be turning down the hillside to the right. Sets up well for somebody like Zach Melton, who prefers to throw with his left hand.
And that connects on a tree, which kind of stopped the disc from getting an extra 100 feet or so. But he's going to be in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, I mean, once you make 250 feet down that first initial gap, you're going to have a shot into the green.
Right.
Like this, no shot into the green.
Yeah, and it's not bogey territory because you can get to a good drive landing zone from the tee.
Another shot like that, though, bogey.
Yeah. I feel like there's an airplane in the room right now.
Yeah, it's a very big airplane.
It is right over our head. But like you said, it is just so important to hit this gap, and Paul does so perfectly.
With a nice height as well.
And same tree as Melton. Just about the same result.
I do not envy James right now throwing a backhand on this hole. It is one of the toughest backhand lines on the course. He is so good.
Yeah, and a little bit of encouragement there from Paul as he acknowledges a nice shot for a player who's struggling a bit with this round.
I mean, that's a great shot no matter how you,
Regardless, yeah, sure.
what's going on in the world.
Turn hard right. Kick right.
Nico asking.
Anything to the right. Damn.
He wants a little bit of love right there. He doesn't get enough turn on it, and then it just kind of filters all the way into the forest on the left, which is pretty bizarre because there are a lot of trees over there that can give him a nice little kick.
Melton, instead of trying to get that turned all the way to the pin, just hitting the biggest gap.
He's
giving
golfing.
Himself a short putt for the birdie. That is a player who's zoned in right now. Zach Melton, bogey free, 8 down through 13 holes. He is lighting it up right now. Zach is a short putt away from being 9 down through 14. An awesome start.
Paul trying to make this, looks like.
Wow. There is no layup in that right there.
That's going to be a tricky stance, though. So he went by about 25 to maybe even 30 feet, and he's going to be in a ditch. I mean, that's not going to be an easy shot. This is...
Wow, that's great. Just to get across that ditch from in the ditch, that was a very tough shot. James doing well to get himself a birdie putt.
You put anybody on that tee and say you have to go backhand to get a birdie, pack a lunch.
Yeah, I got to give a little shout out to Trevor Harbolt, who I played with through his Mantis all the way down to the bowl at the bottom of the hill. It was pretty insane. He just pitched one across. And James with the birdie. That's incredible. Melton taking his time and connects, and he's continuing that hot round. 9 down. That's an awesome ad. I had no idea what that was. Yeah, shop for your disc at JomezPro.com. What are you doing?
Get out there.
Get out there and
Live
shop.
a little.
Jeez.
Splurge.
Hole 14, par 4, 487 feet, uphill just pretty much 99.9% of the way. And you get all the way to the top of the hill, and it's like, all right, you've made it. Now it's a flat green for about 70 feet. Just got to keep on up the middle. Any kick on this hole, and you are going to have your scramble abilities put to the test because the rough on this one is very treacherous. Zach, this is pushing right side, and that is a bad angle to try to get his approach anywhere near the pin.
He's got a really good sidearm with good angle control, and because of that, I think he's going to have options to be able to flex something stable in there.
I believe that's Paul's. I want to say Onyx, but I'm not sure if that's
his Hades, actually.
It's his Hades,
yeah.
Okay. And that's what, wow. And he's actually outdriven the mulch in the middle of the fairway, which is kind of the indication of a great tee shot. He's gone even farther past that.
Yeah, hole 15 kind of landing right in the middle. It's the 8th most difficult hole in the course.
You see a lot of that, a lot of almost great drives that, like we said earlier, if you're off in this course and you're just barely off, You're going to get a kick like that off into the rough. Oh, that's a great skip. And Nikko's all the way at the end of that mulch path as well. That is such a technically difficult throw to execute.
Just to get to where he got to was a really good shot.
Nikko going turnover approach. This needs to stable out and...
Yeah, a little tight. Paul going with the backhand as well. Just butter.
Wow. Yep. So good. Running for the eagle and then also putting the brakes on 4 feet behind the basket.
Yeah, it's like he embarrasses us and we aren't even there.
How can you, in hindsight, embarrass me? Wow. And like you said, that forehand anhyzer with a stable driver giving Zach a look, and he's going to have a chance to bring it to 10 down.
James throwing out another stump, but hopefully he's going to be able to manage from there.
Nikko trying to get himself a legal stance in the woods. That was well executed.
Yeah.
James staring down a 35-foot par putt. Just so close. Just so close to being on. And
Zach's on.
Yeah, this is what on fire looks like.
He's so on fire.
Yeah.
He's melting.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that was good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Just some regular tap-ins from these guys, and we're going to be off to hole 16.
And really, you want to get your birdies in the first 15 holes because we're coming up to 3 holes that have birdie potential and even eagle potential, but they also have double and triple bogeys written all over them. You're going to see some of the biggest score separation happening on these 3 holes, starting with this one, hole 16, par 5, 969 feet, big tee shot. Most players are going to go with the big hyzer off the tee. If you're trying to play for the 3, you have to go at least 450 off the tee here. Yeah, maybe not quite.
No.
Maybe 400.
Yeah, 300 to 350 off the tee, and you're going to love life. That's not a very far shot, but he's going to be able to do the same shot and then have a pretty manageable shot into that island green. Now, the tough thing about the island green is it is really small. So leaving yourself on top of the hill is going to cause a really delicate shot into that green. Now, somebody with McBeth's power or James Conrad's power, you can throw it to that 350 mark and then be able to blast it into the wood line.
Right.
And then just fall down, have jump putt in. So having that, and Nikko, of course, as well.
Of course. Nikko's got big power.
I think that's what they're going to be looking to do here, which that's a huge advantage. But I love this hole because of that. Your distance advantage is useful, but not really on your first shot.
Yeah, and it can also be the detriment to you on this hole. You get a little bit greedy. You think, okay, I can give myself a chance for the 3. And that's how you get yourself in position to take a 7.
This needs to get down.
This is heading way left, and that is going to be out of bounds for Conrad.
But he threw it far enough to where he's still going to have another shot down there, and he can still get birdie. He has the power to do that.
The rare out of bounds birdie. Certainly, if there's one hole that could be achieved, it would be this one. And Melton,
This looks lovely.
Just beautiful. Just cresting the hill with just enough height that the disc is going to maintain that extra forward carry. That should be an easy pitch across the creek for the birdie for Melton.
Yeah, it just depends on if he got that glide all the way down there,
Yeah. And Paul's pushing this over all the high grass. All that is out of bounds. But once you get down here,
I think he might.
He's safe.
Yeah, inbounds, but there's going to be so many little twigs and
Yep.
little, guardian trees is going to make that upshot into that really small green super difficult because he's further than a jump putt. This is nice.
And this is going to be hyzering short of the creek.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And that's right in that eagle range. 55, 60 feet, probably right there at the edge of circle 2.
This looks nice.
Yeah, James trusting this one nice and wide. A little bit anhyzer. Hyzering back towards the end. Skipping up, and he's going to have that opportunity to have the circle birdie putt. Very rarely ever see that.
Mm-hmm.
And by circle, of course, I mean out of bounds stroke.
Right.
Some people circle their birdies. Some people circle their out of bounds strokes.
And it goes.
Man, he is so in control of his game right now.
Yeah, this is a tough scramble from here. I've been over there before, and there is a lot of little things that can just go wrong. That ain't wrong.
And that carpet green, you can see Paul just barely getting it over the wall, still sliding out to the edge of the circle. Nikko with this long look for the eagle. Oh, yeah. Spinning it in there. Another long jump putt from Nikko Locastro, and look at that.
There he is.
That is a thing of beauty.
Looking pretty athletic, Nikko is.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
He's hit a lot of change today.
he certainly has.
Good catch.
Yep, just a bit left of center. As Paul, with a bogey on his card, still 2 holes ago, he's 10 under. It's just... Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
okay.
that's not good, but when you're 10 under, you can leak a couple.
Yeah, I guess. Certainly wishes he had that one back. Melton will have to tap in for the... That's a frustrating par to take, of course. Played that hole really well. And James escaping with no worse than a par after the early out-of-bounds shot.
Hole 17 is known for its treacherous creek that winds its way down the middle of the fairway. Add lots of guardian trees and just landing in bounds is a tall task. Add this very small island green and it becomes one of the scariest holes on the course. Let's see how it plays out.
So many fates have changed on this very hole.
So many careers have just ended.
There's dreams still left in some of these creeks, actually.
Yeah, they haven't drained them
Yeah.
in a while.
Nikko, if you're going to kick a tree and kick down, that's the place to do it.
In bounds.
Safe. Yeah.
I think the play here is the sidearm. If you're a righty, down that middle gap, play it to the right side. This is a really aggressive play. Only a few players actually do that, and that, if you do miss the gap, that's going to be a really tough up and down.
Yeah, the early out of bounds is just the quickest way to see that double bogey. You've probably seen more double bogeys on this hole than maybe any other hole on course on average, just because... Well, actually, double bogey's a little bit harder because they call this a par 4. It is a reachable par 4.
The only way you go out of bounds and take a big number is by barely missing. Paul McBeth barely misses that tee shot out of bounds.
And Melton, is he going to get the skip in bounds? And no, and that actually carried out of bounds quite a ways. So he will not really have a close putt. And it's just so difficult to accept that fate as you hit that gap with so much power, and your result is you're out of bounds halfway up the fairway.
Yep. Yep. There's a good kick from James to the right. He'll have something from there. This is super delicate. And he's just laying up.
And I actually like this play because you can get yourself into very makeable putting position, maybe just outside the circle. If that had been clean, he could have been inside the circle on the other side of the creek.
This needs to get up.
This could ride the bridge. No. And James going with the same type play that McBeth went for.
Now, he would have had a gap somewhere in there to actually go towards that green, but still, James being the veteran that he is, he lays that up to the corner, playing for that jump putt, still not letting those strokes, dissolve when he has that kind of control. It's good to see.
Paul, that was a very dangerous putt. An inch higher, that could have been out of bounds again. But he'll have to settle for the 4.
Almost. Just kind of one of those rounds
Yep.
for James. Game of inches. Shoe fly, don't bother me.
Oh my god.
He almost killed the fly. I'm glad.
Oh, boy.
That fly was almost done, so.
That would have been annihilated.
Zach taking his meter. Oh.
He got
Fly's dead.
He got the fly. I'm so glad you said that.
Sometimes you should just be able to step up and eyes closed.
I don't even know why we do commentary sometimes. I feel like just let the audio run for Nikko for a while. Anyhow, hole 18, par 4, 650 feet. This is the hardest hole on the course. It is so difficult to land your drive in the middle of the fairway just to have an opportunity to throw a second shot at this treacherous par 4. I really feel for Zach Melton as the lefty spin. If he doesn't start this thing off right, drifting to the left side of the fairway, there's really no way he can keep his putter in the middle with a left to right slope.
A little too much hyzer. Yeah, it's a really, really tough lefty line. But I love that he chose the putter because that would be one of the ones that he could definitely have control over. So he makes the right play, gets a bad kick. He'll be able to scramble from there.
Now the righty has that opportunity to go a bit bigger as James Conrad taking his patented long run up. A good tee shot for James. Can get out of the gap. And this is so close, and it's kicking left, and that is going to be in forehand territory.
It's just so mean. Like, he is so close, and he just kicks off to the left. But I mean, we gotta call out. James is not playing well. He is off his game, and this course will do that to you. It can happen to anybody, and this is a good perspective that we all have to take account that this course is tough. James Conrad is a past champion, and he is off, and he's going to shoot a very, very easily a +3.
Sure. I mean, we have some low scores already in the books, and he's going to be, at best, 13 strokes off that pace. And, you know, when we play some courses, as Paul McBeth has laced this one right down the middle, if this doesn't drift too far left, he's going to be in great position. We see so many courses that we play where we're seeing 14 down. No one wants to see James play a bad round, of course. We don't want to see anyone play a bad round. But the human element of this course is very real. And to see somebody struggle is...
That was great.
Yeah, nice shot from Zach. He'll have that maybe 150 feet left to save the par. Shoot bogey free, 10 under. But I think that's kind of the intrigue of playing in the woods. It's just the element of sometimes you're going to get bad kicks and have a bad day, and it just gets amplified. Paul will have a very low ceiling putt from 45 left to try to get to 11 under or 10 under.
Nikko going wide flex. I actually really like this play.
Oh,
he was so close. I mean,
needed 1 or 2 inches lower, and that would have been parked.
James kind of burning this into the ground. He's going to have, he's going to have to earn it from there.
Yep.
Zach.
Okay.
Yeah. Has that left for a 10 under par. Great round.
Just to have no red numbers in the scorecard is such a tough thing to do.
Is
That's
that
McBeth cans the 40-footer. Not such a low ceiling as he just avoided. Oh, look at that. Maybe just a little twizzle as it moves its way underneath the tree.
Was that his first outside the circle putt? I feel like that might have
Yeah,
been one of them.
I think you're right.
What a putt. Save it for the last hole. Nice birdie, 10 under. James is actually going to bogey. He's going to finish at +4. Nikko in a really tricky spot.
Oh.
He caught a lot of chains there.
You
Just
have
kind
to
of
put
pushes
so
out.
much spin on that to get it to catch. Melton to stay bogey free. And just a bit off.
Yeah, just a little bit high there. Oh, no.
Man, you hate to see that.
Yeah, he definitely was leaking a couple down the stretch right there.
Oh.
And that's going to put him to an 8 under par.
And just cleaning up those 2 putts on 16 and 18. Melton walks out of here at 11. Instead, he's going to have to settle for the 8 under. That's just the worst feeling after playing so good all the way up to that last hole and then suffering the unfortunate double bogey. As we see McBeth, even with a couple bogeys, still getting enough birdies to shoot 10 down. He's the hot scorer on our feature group. Eagle McMahon, also double bogeys, hole 18, and shoots an 11 under.
Wow.
So we have got some good action here, folks. First round. Thoughts?
I like seeing your name on there. I can't wait to commentate on
let's
what
go.
you do tomorrow. But no, there's just a lot of great players on the leaderboard, of course. Thank you to the Patreon.
Thank you so much, the Founders Club. We love you. We're going to see you tomorrow for round 2 coverage from the 2020 Idlewild Open.